What's up, Patreon? Jason here. Good to be back. So today I'm going to run through some shout outs. We got a lot of new Patreon patrons, and I wanted to talk to you, as promised, a little bit more about the not blowing too hard thing. Because my friend Barbecue Bob put up some great stuff. In the background, I got some archive.org going. This is a show from Mexicali Blues in 2008. So let's see, I'm going over to my Patreon right now. All right, and let's find the alerts thing, and then we'll answer some messages live on the air. Let me find the alerts thing. I can never find it on the computer. It's easier on the phone. Let's see where we go. Notifications, there we go. All right, so in the last video, I did some shout outs to the deleted pledges. And somebody said that we shouldn't do that because it might make them feel bad. Well, I think you're right. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't threaten people. They're never going to see that they deleted their pledge, so they can't see the video. But other people can see the video, and they might be thinking, I don't want my name. I don't want to be pressured into pledging every month. So that's what we'll do. We're not going to do the amount anymore. I'm just going to say that Mike Marciano pledged way too much. Thank you, bro. The Stripe Kuhl, thank you. Welcome to the team. Pledged by Dello. Dello, thank you. Bruno Cat. Anybody with cat in the name is good. E-Rock. Yo, E-Rock. That's, what was it from the Trailer Park Boys? J-Rock. J-Rock. That E-Rock. Let's see, that letter comes before J, so you might have been there first. Matt Schmitz, the Harmonica Barge. The Barge, thank you. All right, then I'm scrolling through some of the ones I'm not supposed to talk about and getting to Stephanie Brandt, MD. See, a doctor is smart enough to be here. Thank you, Stephanie, I appreciate it. Ed Brooks, thank you. Catherine Johnstone, Tony Thompson, Makos. So I might be going back further. I might be repeating a couple. Cliff Comita, but that's okay. A double shout out's okay. Richard Carford. David Eager, thank you, sir. Richard Carford, thank you. Cliff Comita, thank you. David Eager, thank you. Joe Almafatina. Alma, I should be able to do this when I'm Italian. Almafitano. Ronnie Yanis, Ronnie, thank you, bro. Jack Greengrass, Michael G. Murphy, Adam West, Mutt, appreciate it, bro. Matthew Guidon, thank you. I'm going back probably to repeating one, but let's do it again. Max Corlinge, thank you, sir. Fiery Harmonica Dude, shout out to brother Fiery Harmonica Dude, shout out to brother Jeff Boyer, shout out to, well, no, those are deleted ones. Shout out to Peter Cook, shout out to Anthony Selwood. I remember that. I think we're getting back into ones repeated. Okay, shout out to Gasper Viana, just in case. Shout out to Bo. That's what Kate calls me. That's her nickname. We started it before pop culture started doing it. And shout out to Daryl T. Thank you guys so much. Let me jump over to the messages before we get into the conversation about playing too hard. All right. Oh, looks like I've got most of the messages. Here's a couple. Let's see if any of these I can do publicly. Okay, that was another one about the volume thing. All right, so let's see. That was Thomas Clayton Pacale. Hey, Thomas, we love the mugs. Thomas sent us these amazing mugs. They're just incredible. They're so beautiful. They're like, we love them. We love the way they feel on our lips. They have little saint stuff on them. They have a cat on a skateboard, and he made one just for Caitlin. That's so nice. Let's see. John Duffy said, okay, I'd be grateful if you could give me some advice on the Lone Wolf pedals. I'm wondering if I should buy the Alpha Wolf or the Boogeyman. Either of these pedals would be a big purchase for me, so I need to get it right. Your advice would be greatly appreciated. John, I am texting you my phone number. Now, I don't know if you can make a phone call from the UK, So I'm also going to text you my Skype name. Okay. So hit me up add me on Skype. Okay, and maybe we can talk over Skype. That'd be on me, of course, bro. I'm happy to answer questions about Lone Wolf. Okay, so there's both. Guys, I'm still really sick. I know I probably look great, amazing, right? But like, I'm not actually all that good. I am going back to work tomorrow, no matter what. And, we'll see what we have to do. But I just got out of the tub. I just had this vapor tub. I'm drinking a lot of liquids. It's not COVID. We had 3 negative COVID tests. But I've been in bed since Monday, and as soon as this is over, I'm going back to bed. It was just bothering me that I hadn't done this yet. Okay, so Melanie, who is a very active patron here, and who I see on Instagram and Facebook everywhere, good harmonica player, says, "Hey Jason, I hope you, Kate, and Vester are okay." We are. We're doing good. I'm on vacation and I got time to study and improve bending and tongue blocking. I wanted to do this for a long time as I've only been playing with tongue blocking for about 2 years. When I started the first ever bending 6 years ago, I immediately started doing them with the throat. But using tongue blocking, I have a difficult time bending in tune right away. For example, if I have to go directly to, okay. Yeah, now Melanie, I think I sent you my Skype name too, and I'd be happy to do a quick Skype with you to answer that. So I don't really want to play right now because I don't feel good. But a lot of the stuff, like if you're bending 4 and you're on your way down to the 3/2 step, it's the same position of your mouth. So it'll just happen. So in a lot of cases, I overthink this stuff. And sometimes the minute I stop trying, it comes out. All right, and then you said, "Sorry to disturb you. I even searched through your video lessons, but I couldn't find the right one." All right, I'm sending you my Skype name, and you're never disturbing me. Patreon patrons, this is what Patreon is for. If you want to get in touch with me, you're going to get in touch with me here on Patreon. Now, you got to be a little patient sometimes. I'm not always, super quick to respond if I'm on the road or if I'm stacked up with lessons, which this week I really am. But you can always, add me on Skype and see if I'll answer. But definitely email me through here or directly to my email, jasonricci1@gmail.com. All right, let's put a little more bass on this. There we go. That sounds better. All right. So that's most of the comments. Let me see. Here's a couple that I might be able to answer on the couldn't appreciate what you do for us anymore. This is John DeMauro. Thank you, John. Shout out, brother John. Even when you're hacking up a lung in bed, I know, bro. That said, I don't think there's anyone that expects you to put out a new lesson when you're freaking sick. Thanks, man. You know what? I appreciate it too, but when I make a promise every Friday, no matter what, I mean it. And man, if there ever does come a day where I can't, I'll get Kate to make the lesson. I'll get her to make the lesson, Look, we're going to do it every Friday no matter what. Even if it's just me telling you a story from my hospital bed. We're going to make it happen, And actually this week was really perfect since I couldn't breathe really well. The subject of it not being blowing too hard. So let me get to that, okay? So let's go back. I'm going to go over here to Instagram, okay? And I want to read you a couple of comments that Barbecue Bob left. Okay. Man, Todd Edmonds on the bass. Sounds so good. Okay. What a tone. Okay. So there's a lot of comments by Bob, okay, but here's the ones I wanted to read, okay? So Barbecue Bob, you guys might not know this, but when I was a kid growing up in Maine, that was the guy, right? From Boston, that was the harmonica player that you wanted to sound like. And he would come down to Maine sometimes and sit in the jams, and that was a big treat for everybody. And, in Maine, it was D.W. Gill. He was the guy. He's still around now. He's on Facebook and stuff. But Barbecue Bob was that was the big guy, right? So he said, don't blow too hard. is something most non-pro players tend to ignore or have no idea that they're guilty of doing, and then they wonder why their harps get blown out so fast. So that's kind of what I was saying in the video. The overwhelming majority of the very best players play very softly, and a lot of players tend to listen too much with their eyes rather than their ears, because it's ridiculously easy to fool anyone into thinking you're playing really hard if you tend to move around, right? Or into thinking you're playing really hard if you tend to move around or gyrate on the bandstand. And yet many of the players who play too hard are often standing on stage like a statue. Bob, that is awesome. Bob's not on Patreon, but man, that comment is perfect, right? Then he goes on to say, I can still remember that when I first started out to teach myself to play back in the 70s, and like 98% of all beginning players, I was just as guilty of that too. So I know where it all starts out from day one. The single biggest lesson that I got about not playing too hard and developing breath control for both tonal color dynamics as well as blowing out harps fast was from the late great Big Walter Horton, when back in 1978 at the old Speakeasy in Cambridge, Massachusetts, I had the Rocky Savino from New York with me, and Rocky asked him at the end of the night, just when BW had all his harps packed up, Big Walter, for the night, Rocky asked him how he played the intro of his cover of the Little Walter tune, Can't Hold Out Much Longer. Since I knew him pretty well from seeing and hanging out with him during that decade, he actually showed how he really played that and didn't do any BS as he may normally would if he didn't know you. Since I was the only one of us with a key of A in my pocket, I let him borrow it, and then he played it exactly like the Alligator record, playing it so softly that it was like a whisper. I later practiced it when I got home for hours, and there it was, and it opened the door to a lot of different stuff that I could not more accurately play. Quickly, I then found out that not only did Big Walter play mainly very softly, but also Little Walter and so both Sonny Boys and 98% of harp heroes, regardless if it was blues or not, were really playing it. That changed my whole world and then some. Yeah, man, I agree. Like, and Big Walter did play really soft, but sometimes he played really hard. Like, if you listen to the solo on Walking by Myself, like, in my opinion, the stuff that he plays behind Jimmy Rogers is a lot better than the solo. The solo, here's the other thing I wanted to say. When you play too hard, you make the harp flat. So it goes slightly lower. It's not technically out of pitch by Western standards, but it's not in tune. So every time you blow hard on the thing, you're playing flat. And I mean, that solo on that by Big Walter is just flat, right? Like it's blah, 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 blah. No, I mean, that's a lot of people's favorite solo. So it's kind of blasphemy for me to say that. But the way he's playing behind him, you know, man, I shouldn't be playing harmonica, but it's like this, you know. Hold on, let me pause this. All right. Is I. How's it going? So I'm playing really soft. Right, so it's really, really, really soft, right? So like you can do that, right? But then in the solo, he's blah, 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 blah. But people love it though, right? So look, man, both is cool, but just be conscious. What it's really about is being aware of what you're doing. Anyway, that's the main thing I wanted to say, is just because people are moving around and making a lot of noise doesn't mean that that they're blowing hard, okay? So there's that. So anyway, guys, thanks very much. This is going to be a little short update because I got to get back to bed because tomorrow I got to go back to work. I just wanted to say thank you and give the shout outs. Okay, that was the big thing. And I appreciate you guys very much. And I really, really, really appreciate you guys very much. It's been a rough couple of months financially with the dentist thing and then some other stuff that came up. And man, you guys have pulled us through. If it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have made it. And you know, that's the other reason that Free Fridays happen, even when I'm sick, right? It's like, It's just my way of saying thank you every single week. And yeah, sometimes I stress out on them, right? But I got a good one. I got another good one coming this week. We'll figure out what it is later.
We love that mug. Definitely. It has pulled Jason through his whole sick week.
Yeah.
All week I've been making him tea in that.
That's right. Thank you, Thomas. We do love the mug, and I've been using it every day of my sickness. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Go Saints. Thank you guys for everything. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll see you on Friday, if not sooner, with a cigar video. That's the other thing. No cigars in 9 days. Lynn Wintercorn, thank you for the shirt. You see I'm wearing your shirt, Lynn? And Kate's got your pajamas. So, yeah, we love it when you send us stuff, too. we should be sending y'all stuff, but we're so bad with the post office. All right. Thank you guys very, very much, and I'll see you on Friday. Appreciate y'all.